Hi guys, it looks like I'm live. If you're watching this after the fact, this is the first 5 minutes where I'm setting everything up. So if you want to see the actual live stream, it will pop up in 5 minutes. Just skip ahead. But anyway, welcome guys. I'm Greg Rutke of Rutke Mods, and I figure you guys have been missing me. I don't see anyone here. There's no one talking. Come on, people. Maybe I need to refresh this. Let's see here. This should stay live, I hope. Oh, hi, Noah. Okay, I guess people are showing up. Hey, Mike. How you doing? Okay, good, cool. So anyway, let's get this back over here. How are you guys doing today? Hi Tobias, hi Zombie Geek, hi Malta. And of course this is Q&A number 11. It's all unscripted. You know, you ask me a question, I answer it. And in roughly 4 minutes we'll start going. So. How are you guys doing today? Hope all is well with everyone. Got Xena right here. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. So anyway, it's going to be a very slow live stream. No people actually participating here. Hi, Jess. Welcome to the stream. We still got about 3 minutes before the stream actually goes. Thank you, Zombie Geek. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Dog view. Say hi, Xena. Look that way. Look that way. Look that way. Hi. Yeah, it's one of the babies, Jess. Yeah, she is cute. She sure is, Noah. What do you see, girl? Sorry, my English skills aren't quite up to live streaming pace. It's all right, Tobias. Don't worry about it. You're doing pretty well. Hi, Matt. How you doing? Whew, I am so tired. This has been a long week, and we'll fill you in on it in 1 minute. It has been a long week. Can you make any more noise? All right, we're getting close here. Get this camera angled better. Oh, hi, Athena. Show her real quick. Come here. Oh, Xena, you jealous dog, you. Ah! All right, now I need to go that way. Can I go that way? Move. Come on. Out of the way. Thank you. All right. What you doing tonight, Greg, and what's in the can? Oh, it is time to go. So It's officially time for the live stream. Hi, I'm Greg Rutke of Rutke Mods, and welcome to Q&A number 11. It would be Samuel Adams IPA. Very delicious. Let's see here. Yeah, she is, she's always jealous. She was my first, of course. Xena was my first, and Athena's a rescue. She's a few months younger than Xena. So, anyway, like I have nothing better to do. Hi, Jay. How you doing? So anyway, guys, some updates. If you notice that I still haven't uploaded any videos, it's because I'm kind of getting over May. May is the hardest month of the year for me, and it's been like that for years. Long before Dad died in May, I've lost a lot of people in May, and it's just never been a good month for me in the last probably 10, 15 years. It's rough, but I am getting back into the habit of everything. If you look here, I have a bunch of excursion parts. Long story on that, we'll get to that. But yeah, it's time to go. If you guys want to ask any questions, and while I wait on questions, I'll talk about the excursion and the everything. Yeah, more parts, Jay, and everything that's been going on that's prevented me from recording. The excursion had a little catastrophic meltdown, and it left a trail of oil around my entire property. Yeah, it's not a massive, major problem, and it's easily repairable, but it's not cheap. Basically, all the oil seals, the turbo shares the same oil as from the engine. All the oil seals around the turbo blew, and puked oil everywhere. So it is currently, we hauled it to the shop Monday, and it is currently sitting in the shop getting a new turbo, which is going to be more powerful and better. Done that in a new coolant line, because the guys that did my suspension pinched one of my coolant lines, and it puked coolant everywhere. But they fixed it, and I'm having it fixed properly. I have a question about a tablet I bought from a pallet bin. It's been previously owned, but I can't seem to log on. The brand, I believe, is On. That would be Walmart's brand, Jess, and I don't know anything about those. This is more of an Apple channel. I could tell you a whole lot about iPads. That would probably be an Android or a Chrome tablet. More than likely Android. And it really depends on how you're trying to log in. Just hold that thought, and we'll talk about it on Tuesday. Hi Taj, how you doing? Haven't watched any of the streams in a while. It's because I haven't had any in a while. But yeah, the excursion has been what's been holding up a lot of the videos and stuff, because I've been trying to get it to run properly. And now that it's in the garage, I can finally start filming again. And if you notice, the last video I did was in the studio. We powered everything with extension cords. There's still no power over there, but it was the only place I felt like I could record the tribute video. So, we're going to be filming here. Good, Jess. We're going to be filming here like I have been. And it's going to be, it needs to be cleaned off. I haven't cleaned it off, cleaned that off. The next video I'm planning on will probably be the PowerBook G4 running MorphOS, I think. Either that or it's going to be one of the iMac videos. I'm not sure which one yet. But one of the videos from the April 2020 update that I haven't filmed yet in June, that update was a little bit... I didn't do anything in May or April really to finish that up. So yeah, I'll be doing that soon. Hi Steve, how you doing? Taj, did you know I managed to create an app to send stream messages on my Apple Watch? Not public yet, but kind of interesting. That is awesome. I also added in the video stream functionality. I don't know if Apple is going to allow that, but that would be neat if that's possible. I'm doing well, Steve. I'm doing quite well. Everything is starting to flow and actually come out the way it needs to. A lot of neat things I'm looking forward to. Really neat thing happening. Hopefully Tuesday. We won't go into that, but I'm looking forward to that. You know, it's been a fun time. You know, Noah, in a way, I was the DOS dude one of iOS devices. Not really. But I did a lot of Cydia tweaks back in the day, around 2010, 2011. It's always nice when things flow well in the bathroom. Oh. Steve, are you in the bathroom? Guess where I am right now, Steve? Oh, Jay. Well, I guess that's more than one way to watch me, right? Next, iOS 13 patch for the iPhone 4. I'd like to see that happening. So anyway, guys, as you know, the topic of the video. So video, and there we go. I was just about to say that. What's up, Jay? You have a question? Are any of the tweaks still available? I want to check them out now. Yes, they're still on Cydia. They're hosted on the old ModMyi server, which has been archived. You got iOverclock 2, Silent Charge Classic, Silent Ring, a bunch of themes, whole lot of things. But iOverclock 2, the last time I checked it before they stopped counting the downloads, it had over 250,000 downloads on it. Jay, Xserve series win, hurry up. It's never going to happen, Jay. Steve, when are you coming to visit Jay and get your stuff? I'm actually going to do it shortly after the excursion gets back out in the shop again. And then, well, after it gets out the shop, it's going to have to go back into the shop for another day at least before I can go over and see Jay. Because that's my road tripping truck. Yeah, it's got to go back into the shop because the guys that did the suspension work on my truck put one of the shocks in upside down. And the garage it's in currently, I told them not to bother with it. The other shop is going to flip the shock for me for free. Plus that shop's going to be putting new tires on it. It's not cheap. It's an expensive truck. I recently properly dedicated an iOS device. No, yes, it is Definitely a workstation also. Just like the Mac Pro, it's just a flatter version of it. But yeah, I recently properly dedicated an iOS device for jailbreaking, a first gen SE. Cool, cool. Neat to know, Taj. Good, you can pick up my stuff too, pretty please, when you can. Then you can come and can visit me. What I plan on doing, Steve, is seeing Jay and then eventually going to see Mike. And you're not too far away from Mike, a few more hours. So I'll probably, when I go see Mike, just continue on to see you afterwards. No, I don't want your tank leaking oil all over my driveway, and that won't happen after it's fixed, Jay. At least it shouldn't. 7.3s are notorious for leaking oil, but if they're fixed properly, they won't leak. Rudy's World Tour. I can meet you halfway to Mike. That would be neat. That could be an option. It would save me some diesel. um, we might work that out there, Steve. I also have to go up to Wisconsin and see Ken. Spend a few days with him doing some videos and stuff. Looking forward to that. Really, really can't wait to do that for sure. Who knows? I might drive the excursion to see Bruce. I just have to make sure it floats well. Hello, Matt. Welcome. I'll hide in your trunk. So Xserve series ain't happening, eh? And why not? You got space now, no more excuses. Because I have two Xserves. Two Xserves, Jay. It's not much of a series. I'm just going to drop. They're both G4 powered. They're going in the Power PC series. What version of OS X works on an iMac 21.5 late 2015? Any of them from Catalina to at least El Capitan, maybe Yosemite, but at least El Capitan to Catalina should work on it. Two Xserves a series doth not maketh. Exactly, Jay. It's why I'm not having an Xserve series. So, that's a good point, Steve. Yes, check every Mac or Mac tracker. They'll tell you the earliest OS supported. How is it going with your 2011 17-inch? I haven't touched it yet, Tobias, but I plan on doing that soon. Um, I'm definitely trying to get that done this summer. Um, and I might be building another one because I have the parts to build another one. So I might have two of them with bad GPUs, which I'm going to be overriding. And Colin said, since I'm his friend and whatnot, he'll give me the license to flash them with the friend discount, aka I've been feeding him so many rare Mac parts, I'm getting it for free. But yeah, we're going to be flashing it. I have the flasher, I have everything ready for the video. I just got to do it, but I want to do the 2011 iMac GPU flash first, which I have to talk myself into doing. Grudy, give me a G4, then I'll have a G4, a G5, and soon an Intel Xer. Maybe. I might give you one there, Steve. I really like the slot load G4. It's quieter. But the trade loads are extremely hard to find, and I have a dual 1 gigahertz, which I really, really want to modify and get a faster card running in it. So I don't really know if I can give you one, because I have a lot of things I plan on modifying on that one. But the 133 is definitely my favorite right now. It's so much quieter, but then again, you can hand wire some, you know, hand controls for the fans on the dual 1 gigahertz to help it out. I am thinking about buying a 2002 Ford Expedition. Any thoughts on the 5-liter, 5.4 V8? The Triton is always really underpowered and a fuel guzzler, but it is a good engine. I have one in that van I haven't gotten rid of yet, which was in my video. I think 2002 might have been before the 3-valve. The two valve was okay. It didn't have as many problems as the 3-valve. The 3-valve, if I remember correctly, has a problem about eating valves or something like that, and basically blowing up. The 2 valves, on the other hand, they're stout. They're useful engines. They're just underpowered for what they stick them in usually. In, for instance, an F-150, it's okay. But when you get into super duty vehicles like an Excursion or even an Expedition, Expedition is still a huge SUV. It's smaller than Excursion, but still pretty big. And you're not going to have super great gas mileage. Reliability is still kind of crappy, but it's an okay, especially if it's the 2-valve. If it's the 3-valve, because it was around that time when they were getting ready to go to the 3-valve. If it's the 3-valve, I would try to stay away from it. It's not worth the headaches. But the 2 valves are okay. So the LCD I ordered for my iPod Touch 2nd generation just came in the mail. That's awesome, Jacob. Good luck with putting that in, because I've done it a few times and I don't want to work on another iPod Touch ever again. The last one I ever worked on was a 4th gen, and if I want to buy one, I buy one that's in decent shape, not one that I have to rebuild, because it's not worth it. It's a pain in the butt. But, you know, good luck with it, for sure. You're going to mod it? Never mind. Yeah, I'm going to mod the Xserve eventually. Trust me, I don't need any more servers. The home button, I believe, is just ribbon cable, if I remember correctly. It should just clip in and work. It might be connected to the dock connector. No, the dock connector is integrated in the board on those, I think. I think it's just it might be integrated to something else, but it should just be a ribbon cable. All right, Jay, see you in a bit. Thanks for your work. I got a free Mac Pro 1:1 from a guy, new old stock. Can you run Logic X on Capital with 32G? On El Capitan with 32 gigs? Yes, you can run Logic X Pro on it in El Capitan. You just have to have the version that works with El Capitan. It should work fine, and should do pretty good. You know, you shouldn't have any issues with it. All right, good night. So anyway, guys have any other questions? Any suggestions on where to look for a guide to get Linux up and running on an iMac G5? No. Um, every PowerPC Mac is different when it comes to running Linux to BIOS. You just kind of have to pray it works, basically. And it depends on which iMac G5. Some have GPU issues with Linux, some don't. You just kind of hit or miss with it. And that's the reason why I've never done any videos on how to do it, because every system's different. What will work on one PowerPC Mac will be totally different on another, and it's always a headache. But I would try to run Ubuntu on it first, or Ubuntu Mate, um, and see how it runs. One that will guaranteed run on it would be Ubuntu 12 point whatever the heck it was. The last officially supported one should work on it. The later ones, the 16 versions like Mate and Ubuntu, might work on it. More than likely will work on it, but it's a little bit of a headache. And what you have to do is, if you want to dual boot it, you set up the hard drive with a bunch of free space, not formatted, and then you let the installer make its own partition. Because if you already have a partition made for it, the installer has problems figuring out what to do with it, ends up usually wiping your drive. It's a pain in the butt. But it's doable. But there's not really much you can, I can't really suggest a whole lot. You just kind of have to shoot in the dark and get it going yourself. So Ubuntu 16 PowerPC can work. It can, depending on which one, for sure. Yes, I have it working thanks to your DMGN videos. I'm glad to hear that, man. iSat 20-inch. The iSight 20-inch has the X600 graphics, which don't tend to work with Linux. I don't think anyone's gotten it to work with Linux. Any X graphics, X800, X1900 for PowerPC, for the G5 tires, there's some kind of driver conflict problem. So it might not work, man. Hi Bruce, how you doing, man? By the way, guys, when my stream is over, Bruce is planning on having a live stream. So go to Brankus Creations. Just click on his channel there. Subscribe to him, and he'll be having a live stream after this, right, Bruce? Anyway. So what is unique about Bay 1 on the 3.1? I'm trying to boot Windows off an Apricorn PCI SSD and it won't. It's the Bay 1, and do you mean slot 1 for the PCIs? Or do you mean for SS? Yeah, slot 1. There shouldn't be any difference, honestly. Which one is slot 1? Slot 1's the GPU card bay. If you mean slot 4, which is the top bay, card slot, that one is the one designed for also working with RAID cards. It might be an issue. So if you try it in slot 3, which is the one below it, it might work. If anything, 3.1s are a little picky on booting on cards. It's doable, but they're picky about it. Hard drive slot 1 left. Oh, so literally hard drive base loads and not on a card. I'm not sure. It should work. Should work fine as long as you're booting it in MBR. 3.1s only support MBR. You cannot run it in EFI mode. So don't even try it in EFI mode because it will not work. So we're really getting these questions going here, guys. We've been going for how long now? It's not showing up. 30 minutes. Been going 30 minutes, so officially 25 minutes. Not getting a whole lot of questions. You're quite welcome, Barbu. So, you know, this is going to be a short video if you guys don't ask those questions. Well, I guess we can take a quick break, and I can talk more about random things. A lot of videos coming up soon. Can't wait to show them to you guys. But I've got to film them first, of course. I really want to film a video on the excursion soon when it gets out in the garage. I planned on making that a mini-series. Of course, it doesn't fit in with the channel's topics usually, but it does work. Oh, I just thought of something. I'll be right back because I've got a video idea that I really want to show you guys. Steve knows about this. What is in this box is something really, really, really neat. I can't remember which summer update video it was. It probably was the summer update video of 2017. When I mentioned I was going to show you a video, I was going to film a video about a certain optical media. And this was before everyone else was doing videos on this certain optical media. And I missed the boat by a long shot and never filmed it. Well, I found something finally that fits in well, it doesn't, it's just something really neat that finally makes me want to film this optical media. And Steve already knows what it is, and no, it's not Cookie Steve. He's joking. He knows what this is. What is in this box right here? This is an original box, too, from MCA. I have a GM laser disc, a DiscoVision disc in this box right here with all of 12-inch analog cookies. I wouldn't try to eat this, Steve, but this has all the materials in it. I don't think it was ever even used, although the disc itself has a few scratches on it. So someone at least tried to play it and probably dropped it at some point. But if we open up this box right here, it has a buttload of pamphlets that you were supposed to hand out while training. We'll get to the disc in a second. But we got Technician Recruiting and Retention, which has a whole lot of things about, you know, being a technician in GM in 1981 and tests and all this neat stuff. I've got like, woo, there's a lot of them. I got a lot of them. And these would be handed out, and you were supposed to watch the video and then take a test in this thing. So that's neat. Got that. Then we've got a bunch of papers here. Service employee motivation techniques. technical recruiting and retention leaders guide, so you can do a conversation with them as they're reading through the book and taking the test while they're watching the video. It's just weird. A whole lot of other things. That has been folded improperly. But, you know, it's got all that. Service employee motivation techniques for leaders. The books for all those. All these would be handed out to the people as they were being trained by this disc. So I have all those. And then we have the big thing, which I will be releasing this on YouTube, because I don't think this is on YouTube yet. There is a lot of GM laser discs on YouTube already, but I don't think this one is. Usually you have advertisement material for whatever GM car was going on. They did this from about 79 to around 81. This would have been one of the last laser discs for GM. And this thing right here, this trains you to be a technician and whatnot. It's probably going to be pretty boring, and it may not be on my main channel, but I have the actual disc wrapped in paper towels because there's no elephant condom on them. That's what the little plastic bag that would go around them was nicknamed. There is the disc right there. Pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to showing you this, guys, eventually. I don't know how soon. And since this is a DiscoVision disc, which I think this is one of the last MCA DiscoVision discs before MCA went bankrupt, and Pioneer bought out the rights to Laserdisc and renamed it to Laserdisc. This thing right here, pretty neat. And it probably would have came either in the box with nothing, or it would have been wrapped in like a foam sleeve, probably. Not this paper towel, but this protects it well. So I can't wait to show you guys this. This is going to be neat. I'm going to finally show you some Laserdisc stuff. I've been collecting Laserdiscs since high school, and I've known about Laserdiscs since about freshman year of high school. I got my first player from my high school. They were tossing it out my senior year. And when I got my first player for free from the high school, I bought a huge box of laser discs, probably a good 80 or 90 pounds worth of movies. And I never looked back. I've been collecting ever since. And Steve holds my obsession with it. Let me get this back together properly. That fold's really bugging me. Get this back together real quick, and we will go back to questions. But that is something I just wanted to show you guys so badly. I want to do a video on it very soon. But I usually play my Laserdisc player on my HTPC I built back in early 2016. But the GPU has died in it, so I don't quite know yet how I'm going to capture it for the video. But that will be cool. I'm going to put this up real quick. So yeah, I'm looking forward to showing you that. if anything, that might be in the next 2 or 3 videos. Probably show you some Laserdisc material, which will be fun. I also wanted to show you what it's like to open a brand new Laserdisc, because you can still get them out there in the wild. I have a few brand new ones that I want to open on camera sometime. It is an experience like no other. It's an amazing experience. It feels so good to do it, honestly. Because as a Laserdisc player, a Laserdisc collector would say, it's not worth anything if you don't open it and play it. So buying a sealed copy is not worth anything if, it's just sitting there looking pretty. You need to open it up and play it, for sure. So how is the studio workshop progressing? Nothing has happened in the last 3 months. I think it's been 3 months. 2 months? It's been a while. We have not had time to actually finish wiring the place. So, nothing has happened. And I really need to get my neighbor on it, but he's busy remodeling his house now. So, yeah. But we will be working on that soon. I found a brand new Commodore 16K RAM with a 32K ROM with cassette tape and lock box never used. That is awesome, Barbu, for sure. Is it in LDBB? I'm not sure, Steve. I will have to actually look. And yes, I should try to use the Formac capture device. I could do a tie-in video for that, but I can't figure out how it works. But I'll get it to work eventually. 1984, that is neat, Barbu, for sure. The shrink wrap can actually warp them. Yeah, it's true, too. You should always try to unwrap your laser discs. I usually leave the shrink wrap on them, but I put a slit in them, and it allows them to pull away from the slit. It protects the sleeve some, too. It should be FireWire bus powered. iMovie worked with mine out the box. That's cool, Steve. What I'll probably do is what I do with my HTPC, and this is how I watch laser discs on a modern TV. 4K upscaled is I have a a Hoppage card with an input in it, and I plug that into the S-Video input on it. And then Hoppage has a recording feature for live television, and I just record it through that. You don't really lose any quality. It comes out pretty nicely, and it creates a nice video file you can edit with afterwards. It's pretty useful. But I'd really like to get the Formac to work. I just haven't really had time to try it again. Last time I tried it, it didn't work. But that's why I have 2 or 3 of them. I have a number now. So anyway, guys, anything else? We've been officially in for 38 minutes on the official video. We've been streaming for going on 44 minutes. So ask some questions, guys. It's going to be a short video. I mean, I might still end around 10, so Bruce can start up his stream. But it's nice to talk to you guys, for sure. It's been nice to actually interact with you guys. I've missed it, for sure. I really should have done a few more during May, if anything. I was thinking about getting a G3 PowerPC Max. What would be a good machine to start with? Matt, a Revision B, a second revision blue and white Power Mac is definitely probably the best option. You can get them pretty cheap. It's 10 times more reliable than the first revision, and it's the oldest G3 that officially supported Tiger. I'd go with that. And if you ever want to upgrade it to a G4, it's easy to do that too. It's a good starter G3 for sure. Then iMac G3s are also pretty good starters. If you want a really cheap option, get, for instance, a G3 Snow iBook. Those go for pennies on the dollars compared to the clamshells and tend to be more powerful. The fastest, most powerful production G3 Mac ever made was an iBook G3 Snow, and it had a, when I say production Mac, I mean Apple made it, hasn't been upgraded. And it had a 900 megahertz G3, so that's also a good option. Oh, and the G3 Pismo, can't go wrong with that. Highly expandable, but can be pricey, so it wouldn't be what I'd call a starter Mac, but it is a very good G3 Mac. And of course, that can be upgraded to a G4 too. So, why do I have to ask you questions? Why not just give us random answers? What, Jay? It's a good idea. Give us answers and we have to answer the question and guess the questions. Yeah, no. No, Bruce, I'm not doing that. You're welcome, Matt. I got an iBook G3 Snow Wrangler Bluetooth 16. Awesome, man. I want to try to do that on a clamshell sometime. It acts funny when you do it sometimes. What is your favorite PowerBook? It is a loaded question. I'd have to break it up. Since I collect G3 and on usually, that is a really hard one. I'd have to break it up for each generation. Pismo for the G3, definitely. Probably my most favorite PowerBook, period. And then definitely the G4 Titanium, 1 gigahertz, excellent machine. And probably the G4 Hi-Res for the aluminum. Can't beat that machine for sure. Hard to find, of course, and expensive, but worth it. And the 12-inch PowerBook is cute, but I'm not a huge fan of it. It's basically an iBook Snow with an aluminum case, and actually harder to work on. So, yeah. I like the 12-inch PowerBooks as long as I don't have to work on them. So, hi Brock. Welcome to the stream, man. How long has it been since you made one of these Q&As? It's been a while, unless I missed some or something. The last official one on the channel, I think, was Q&A number 9, and I think that was in February, something like that. December? I can't remember. But the last, number 10 was a MacYac video, I think. And those are just the official Q&As. I've had some other live streams like the Yes, I'm Still Alive live stream, where I held up Athena like this, and she looked like she was dying. She was all freaked out and stuff. It was hilarious. A few other streams, but the official Q&A would have been MacYac number 60-something, I think. And on the channel it was number 9, which was a long time ago. Just picked up a Raspberry Pi 4 and was thinking about emulating Mac OS 8 or 9 through 9 on it. Have you emulated anything classic? I've tried Sheep Shaver and stuff like that. I can't figure out how to get it to work. There's not many tutorials to help explain it to me. I've been trying to find a pre-made image that works with it. I hear emulation works quite well if you get it to work right. And I hear that the Raspberry Pi can do it quite well. So I want to try it sometime if I can figure out how to do it. Good luck with you with that, Malto, for sure. I've always wanted to find a Kanga. I have too, Action Retro, and I got them both from the same guy. And they were very affordable. One of them's got a bad GPU in it or something, I have no clue. And the other one is in a weird mixed up case. It's made out of like a 3400 and a Kanga mixed together, and a bunch of parts are broken on it. I'm going to combine the two in one functional system. So, Brock, you missed that already, man. I see the Ford manual on the table. How's the 7.3 liter? It kind of sort of died on me over the weekend. It's, I think, Friday night, actually. So last week, it sort of died on me. The seals around the turbo went, and it puked oil all over the property, and dumped about 2 quarts of oil out of it. Driving it around my property in one day, back and forth from my house to my the place on the end of the property. Drove it back and forth about 4 or 5 times, left a trail of oil, and didn't realize until I parked it that night that there was a huge pool of oil on the ground. Seals went. Seals share the same oil. The turbo shares the same oil as the engine. So when the seals go, the engine starts losing oil pretty quickly, and the turbo just kind of flings it everywhere. So there's oil everywhere. I towed it to a shop behind my friend's 7.3, my next door neighbor's 7.3, my dad's old truck. We towed that to the shop that fixed it the first time, and the shop's going to redo all the seals and replace the turbo with a bigger and better turbo. After that, it should run great, and I'm looking forward to it, but it's been there for about a week, and I still have no ETA on when it's going to be finished. So, yeah, that's the update on the Excursion. It's expensive. Found on the road dead, exactly. It almost died on the road. If I hadn't caught the fact there was a pool under it, it would have had no oil in it. Whew, warm beer. Ah. It would be cool to have a little, little Mac OS 9 computer. Yeah, you could, emulating on a Raspberry Pi, I've seen someone make a little Mac Classic case to stick a Raspberry Pi in to emulate that. It is really neat, for sure. Oh, it can be fixed. It's an easy thing to fix. It's just not cheap. And honestly, he could fix the turbo, fix the seals on it because the turbo still works, but the turbo's been making funny noises. It'd probably only be good for another 20 or 30,000 miles after that, and then it would blow up and get sucked into the intake, which I don't want it to happen, so I'm just completely replacing it with something better. And then I shouldn't have that issue. Twin turbos are better. Some people are doing compound turbos in 7.3s. I don't see the point, honestly. If you get a modern day turbo like I'm doing with roller bearings in it, it's going to sound awesome for one thing, and it's going to be nearly instant power, and it's going to be more efficient, and actually probably be easier on the engine. So I'm looking forward to that new turbo. It sounds expensive. It can be. The turbo I'm looking at, I think, is like $1,300 bucks. And then I have to have the shop install it. I'm not going to get out of there under $2,000 probably. A turbo button on a PC, that makes everything slower there, Steve. What's your favorite beer? I don't. My favorite beer is any beer that's free. But honestly, my go-to drinking beer, if I want something cheap and affordable, is Miller Lite. But I will drink any beer, really. Even I do have. There's some beers I will not drink unless it's totally free. Um, Natural Light, I'm not going to buy. It tastes like piss water. It's just not good. Um, a few other beers. Um, but, if it's free, I never turn down a free beer. And I've tried about every type of beer you can think of, honestly. Hi there, from an Italian in Brazil. Cheers. It's cool, man. My great grandfather was an Italian, full-blooded Italian, and he was, I think, born and raised in Brazil, and then he immigrated here. Pretty neat. It must be an Italian thing. I wish PCs still had turbo buttons. It made them sound cooler. Yeah, but in today's world, it'd be kind of pointless to have a turbo button. Hey, Natty Light is the beer of my youth. You poor, poor fella. I think I did one case race in college with Natty Light, and I won. Really regretted doing it though. Ooh, hate Natty Light. So anyway, anything else, guys? We've got another 8 minutes or so before the stream may end. I might end it at 10 for Bruce. So got 8 minutes. Let's do some stuff here. Yeah, that's a good point. It would be cool if you could set turbo button to overclock the CPU in your computer. Well, that's the funny thing. Back in the day, people thought the turbo button was for overclocking instead of downclocking. And they couldn't figure out why their computers were running so slow with the turbo on. They should have probably advertised that better. Is the sound I can hear from your Xserve? You shouldn't be able to hear anything. My microphone shouldn't be picking that up. No, it's from my Mac Pro, which is sitting next to the camera. The North Bridge is, I've got screws for it right here. When I do the video on upgrading the CPU, if I ever get around to it, the North Bridge, the thermal paste is gone in it, so I have to ramp up the fans to keep it below 70 Celsius, and right now it's at 69 degrees Celsius, and still it's pushing out some good heat, and it's just from the North Bridge. The CPUs are fine, but that's what you're hearing right now. That's why some manufacturers switched it, so when turbo was on, it would use the faster speed. Yeah, but it was very rare for any manufacturer to do that, and that would confuse the heck out of people that actually knew what they were doing. So anyway, guys, we're getting close to wrapping up the video, I think. Thank you guys for joining once again. Very, very glad, very appreciative for it. Don't forget, after the stream, Bruce should be going live for something. Go to Brankus Creations, click on his name on the chat there, and check him out. Go subscribe to him. He does great videos. He's a great guy, a fellow Mac-yacker. So don't forget, guys, to check that out after the stream. But anyway, would you recommend an airport time capsule? I've been thinking about getting some network storage. time capsule's okay, but you gotta remember that drives will overheat, and it will get really hot, and it will melt the hard drive if you're not careful. What I did to my time capsule, which was until my Xserve RAID, was the main backup to the system. What I did, and I still have it running on the network, but what I did is when I upgraded the hard drive in it the second time, the 8 terabyte drive I put in it died because it overheated. The second time I pulled the base off of it, put it on feet, and have a fan sitting in front of it blowing cold air under it, because time capsules do not have good cooling systems at all, and it's a good thing. It's just slow. It's a very slow way to back everything up, but it's a reliable way to back everything up as long as everything stays cool. And you gotta keep it monitored, and you should consider about doing an occasional backup of it just in case, because there's one drive in it. So if that drive goes, you're pretty much screwed. Night, Jay. Sharon, my friend, YouTube didn't advise about the stream and didn't notify you about it. Now I'm going to start the video, at the video from the start. Okay, go for it, man. We're about to wrap up the video anyway. Do older time capsules have any better cooling? I use a Gen 4, which was based off of the Gen 1 through 3. Which is were the ones with the bad cooling and just random dying. Go with the Gen 4. It's the most reliable out of the 4. If you're going to do that, because it has the hard drive sitting flat, you can do all those mods on it. But the Gen 5 is the one that looks like the towers, kind of like this Linksys thing here. The Gen 5 has AC built into it, so if you're going to use the Wi-Fi functionality of it, that would be the one to go for. But it stands the hard drive up like this instead of like that, and it seems to not cool. It might cool better, but the fan, I don't think it cools better, honestly. But if you're going to use the Wi-Fi functionality, get the Gen 5. If you're just going to have it on the network, like I have mine on the network, go Gen 4 for sure. I would go with a NAS for sure, and you can set up any hard drive if it's set up properly. You can set up any network hard drive to be a time capsule backup. So I'd probably go with a NAS. You're quite welcome, Matt, for sure. So anyway, guys, it is 9:58. I thank you very much for joining. I'm going to wrap this up for Bruce so he can start going live. And I'm also going to probably go get some Taco Bell, which is an hour drive from there and back. 30 minutes there and 30 minutes back when you live out in the middle of nowhere. But I'm hungry and I don't feel like making anything. So I might go to Taco Bell. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you guys for joining tonight. I enjoyed talking to you guys. I'm glad to be back. We're going to be doing those videos very soon, and I am surely looking forward to it. Anyway, guys, so don't forget, I do have a Patreon if you want to support me and see tech videos before anyone else, about a day early, sometimes even earlier than that. Check out my Patreon. I'll have a link in the description. And also at the end of this video whenever I get around to that. You know, thanks again for joining. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again, and this has been a Retke Mods video. See you guys. Bye.